Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with David Ruwadi from the Jackson Community Celebration. David, you are a fellow polar bear. Did you ever think you'd see the day where Jackson won the basketball state championship, followed by girls lacrosse doing amazing, followed by baseball team doing amazing? I'm not even all up to date, but I think they're all like Federal League champs, were they not, the baseball team? So did you ever think you'd see that day?
Well, it's been a real experience, believe me. The Parks, I would be willing to say, was part of all that.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's exactly where I want to go. You're a longtime Jackson resident, and obviously, it means a lot to you. The whole township, the community of Jackson itself, and the park system that we are so blessed to have. Let's talk about that a little bit. Your history with them. What interested you in getting involved with them in the first place?
I was working at Goodyear Aerospace, and they changed ownership.
It's kind of a jump. That's a leap to go from Goodyear Aerospace to the park system.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did you connect those dots?
I went to the school and applied for a job. The school and the township had a joint recreation board, and I worked for a substitute for the school for their custodial work for a period of time, and then I was hired on as with the joint rec board.
So there's an obvious link then, joint rec board into the park system. And since that time, tell us a little bit about what you've done.
The trustees then took over the township parks and built the parks. I mean, they built the parks before I started some of them, and the rest of them I had my hand in some of it. So it's been a building and growing situation ever since I started.
What kind of growing do you see?
Now? We're looking at a lot of different things that are out there that could happen. And
anything you can tell us?
Well, I mean, everybody's read in the newspaper with the golf course that's out there off of Fulton Road. Their zoning change and could sell some of the acreage to Stark County Parks and give some of the acreage to Jackson Township. So that would be a large portion of the township that would have open green space almost in the center of the township, sort of like New York City and their park system in the middle of the city. I mean, how blessed you could be with that kind of open green space for a community.
I'm thinking that there's a lot of misunderstanding about that, the talks taking place about the golf course and what's going to be happening. I think a lot of people are assuming that if something happens to it, that there'll just be more building of buildings on there. You're saying that no, there would be some green space protected, yes?
Yeah, quite a bit of green space, Stark Parks. The only place that I understand and that would be along Fulton Road, which would be rezoned business, which is business pretty much all up and down Fulton Road.
On the
anyway.
other side of the street it is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
the rest of it would be surrounded by open space, green space, parks.
From your perspective, why is that so important? What does that mean for a community?
To me, we need businesses. You can't just have housing because your taxation would be way higher than you'd really want it to be. If you get a balance or a larger amount of businesses per the homes, that would be less on your home in taxation. So, and we need taxes to be able to provide services.
Yeah. Yes. For families, do you see families in Jackson Township getting to really utilize the park system?
Oh, when I first started, it was very few people. It was, a few baseball games here or there, but it's hundreds of people walk daily, and the lights on the, in the evening, and then when the summertime comes, it's a lot. We keep the track open year round. So they exercise, health, rehabilitation. You see people come out, they rehab, then they're gone, and then they come back. So we see a lot of it. We see a lot of use.
All ages.
Absolutely. From sandbox to, the walker.
A couple of things that are a little unique to the area. There's that bog. Does that count as part of Jackson Parks, or is that something separate?
That's operated by the state of Ohio.
Okay. The other thing I think is so neat and unique is that there is a section of the North Park that is devoted with adaptable activities for children with disabilities or different challenges. Can you talk about that a little bit? How did that happen? That is so cool.
That was a group of ladies that wanted to be able to give back, and they got grant money to build on what was currently there, provided by the Joint Rec Board. Before that, they did get a grant to build that originally, the deck, the shelter, and part of the playground. But the ladies went further, got another grant, and built what we currently have now. We're looking at upgrading and, what's out there today and what can be there for tomorrow also.
It's so neat to see families being able to have the brothers and sisters, that there's something for everybody to do so that children can all be playing together, and there's something that everyone can do. That was a brilliant idea on their part.
And one of the original ideas of the Joint Recreation Board, when we go back in history, was to have an amphitheater. And I'm sure you probably read in the paper that we talked about amphitheater. We're still looking at, moving forward with that, and that's in the future.
Where would that be? Where would that be located?
At this point, the area where we currently see the library, which is no longer being used at that location, and scheduled to be tore down. I don't know the date.
Okay. But that makes me want to ask you, what else, if you had your way, 5-10 years from now, what would be taking place with Jackson Parks?
I don't know. I might be retired.
Okay, well, there's a goal.
Yeah, but I would see
I
would see the amphitheater probably in place, up and running, and more activities, and just moving forward.
Yeah, even more and more.
And like I say, the other acreage that would be there would be completed and up and running, and tournaments bring in funding. People stay in our hotels. They eat at our eateries. They spend our money in our area. It's all activities that are good.
A lot of people say that there's such a problem these days with childhood obesity, and that children are doing too much techno playing and not enough outdoor playing. You're saying you see something different, yes?
I see our community out there. I mean, they're on the lacrosse field. They're on the tennis courts. They're on the basketball courts. They're in the playgrounds. They're on the softball fields. They're on the baseball fields. We schedule these things. I mean, that it's hard to even find a athletic field that would be open.
Oh,
Football,
that's amazing.
There's anything that hopefully anything that you want. I mean, there's a few things we could add, but it's finding the space and the funding.
Yes, always has to. How do you do the funding then? Through these kinds of activities, these kinds of events?
We do have a levy. It's a 1 mil levy for our park system, which is due up to renew next year.
All right. So people need to know when they vote for that, what are they going to be able to get for that, their money? What will be happening?
It would be continual maintenance and upkeep of the park system that they currently have.
And which is wonderful. There's so many events that take place in the park system. The community celebration is one of them. I know you've got other things throughout the year. Just to get it on people's radar, what other things happen in the Jackson Parks?
Well, we've had our Easter egg hunt, which is always a huge success. And we've had our fishing derby.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Has that happened yet for this
Yes.
year? Yes?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the most recent one.
Cold, rainy, and 72 or so children plus 72 of their adults. Diehards. Mm-hmm. Diehards.
And where do they fish?
The North Park at the pond,
Yes.
which
Okay.
is stocked.
So, yeah, for people who were assuming that was Lake Cable, it is not so. That's over at the North Park as well, isn't it?
Correct.
Oh, that's fun. How many people did you say turn
There
out
was
for that?
72 children at the event.
Oh, my goodness.
We had more than that sign up, but that's how many showed up at the event. Plus, they had to have a parent or guardian with them.
Braving the weather. Mm-hmm. And the derby part, is that for biggest fish or most fish, or what do you do?
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Any records set this year
And-
other than weather?
No real huge records, but anybody who caught a fish or was there, they enjoyed themselves, even though that it was cold and rainy.
Yeah, so much fun. Then I know at Christmas time, what do you do?
Well, we have our haunted hayride before that,
Oh, I forgot the fall. Okay, hit that one.
plus our celebration.
We're going to come back to the celebration, yes.
Okay. We do our haunted hayride, and that's in late October in conjunction with the school's pancake breakfast. After the breakfast, it's just about an all-day event, that things going on in the park, and then we wrap it up with the haunted hayride. And then, obviously, we do the Christmas in the park.
And that is a huge lighting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I don't know about huge, but it's our community.
beautiful.
It's our
Yes.
community, and yeah, we do what we can to light up the park and try to do a little bit more each year.
It is. It's just wonderful for families. All right, so let's swing back, make this go full circle. We're heading back to the Jackson Community Celebration. Getting excited for it. This is a big summertime fun for all the family, and absolutely free. Yes, David?
Yes.
June 28th through July 1st. If you wouldn't mind giving us just all the bits and pieces, who, what, where, when, give us all the main things we need to know.
Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And entertainment by the Chris Wintrip Guitar Academy. Thursday, 6 to 11 p.m. and entertainment by La Flavor. Friday, June 30th, they will have the 5K Night Glow run on Friday, which you probably are familiar with. Mm-hmm. Get thousands of runners, and that entertainment that night is by Country Fried Band. Saturday, July 1st, hours are 1 p.m. matinee till 11:30 p.m. And that night, the entertainment is by Chris Wintrip, Clapton Tribute, and Evolution, and Gypsy Mac Tribute, and spectacular fireworks to follow.
Awesome. Is there a website where we can go for more information? No? Phone number?
JacksonTWP.com.
There you go, JacksonTWP.com. David Ruwadi, we are looking forward to it. Thank you for all you do for our community.
All right. Thank you.